table. So, how is it that you ended up getting the role of Catwoman?
Well, it was a case of an audition. My agent called and said, "Get over to 20th Century Fox. They're replacing Catwoman." I said, "What?" And I said, "I'm reading for Catwoman?" I said, yes. And he sent me a script. I mean, hadn't delivered, wasn't anything like, you know, we could do it now like that. And hand delivered, and I read the scene, it was marked, and I go, okay, all right, let's do this. And I walked in, and there was a room about half this size, and all filled with beautiful, voluptuous women. And that.
But you had your 2 kids then. Thanks, I'm here all week.
True.
Okay, sorry.
But I had lost all the baby fat too, which was nice. Thank heavens I'd been going to dance class.
So basically, it was Miss San Francisco all over again. It's the nervousness being surrounded by all these other.
Oh yes, and it was so funny because I always picked who I thought was going to win. I thought Ann Daniels was going to win Miss America. I thought this young girl who was a wonderful writer, and she had written a beautiful play and poetry, and she performed her poetry. Miss San Francisco picked her. I thought she was going to win. She was first runner-up. I picked a girl in Miss California pageant, first runner-up. All first runner-ups. I did not see myself winning. I really didn't. It seemed so incongruous all the time. And then when I got into the top 10, in Atlantic City, I was cool. That's all I had to worry about. And then California will let me back in the state. So I really, I was happy. No, I knew I had to do something to be remembered if I was going to get the part, or if I could get close to the part. And I thought, what could I do? And just literally before I walked in, I thought of something and I tried it. I thought, what can you lose?
So I walked in and I said, hello. Hi. Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hi. Thank you. Hi. Very shy, kind voice. And I sat in the chair, and then I started becoming Catwoman. And just, and turn the page. And then lowered my voice down as low as I could get it, and did the scene. And with a lot of this. And
just going through a complete metamorphosis.
I said, thank you very much. And walked out. I said, well, I tried it. Next day I was in wardrobe, and the next day I was filming. It was that fast. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. The first scene I had to do was the explosions from the depth charges in the submarine, in Penguin's submarine. And bless his heart, Cesar Romero protected me. Because, I mean, the explosions were, shooting sparks, shooting hot steam, kind of just all around, and he would move me, he would position me. It was just wonderful. He really was. He became my protector throughout the show, and he was always the one who would he would never say no. He would always say yes to me when I asked him to. My charity is, well, it was the Crippled Children's Society of Southern California. They're now called Ability First. And anytime we'd have a truck show or a meet and greet, I'd ask him if he would come and sign autographs for the children. He never said no. He was just the best.
So were you a fan of Batman prior to actually trying out for the role and getting it?
I had seen a couple of episodes, but I'd never seen Julie. I'd never seen Julie perform. And so I was flying blind as far as, except that I had had cats from the age of, I think, our first cat we had when I was 5, I think, and always around. And you know, I had done cat exercises in our theater class in high school. You know, or you have to move like a cat on across the. So it all helped. Everything helped to.
So did you also have to work a lot with the animal trainers themselves, since you had the cats on set with you?
No. Well, there was a trainer that did the cat, but he just let me hold the cat to get comfortable. This cat did not want to work. This cat did not want to be there. And it's like that. I go. But for the most part, it always did what it was supposed to do, and so it wasn't too bad. One time the cat actually clawed up Burgess's tummy, but it was all padded, you know, it was all padded with white fur and everything. The cat loved that.
So what about Burgess Meredith and Frank Gorshin? You already mentioned Cesar Romero. I mean, it had to have been just a fun time being on set with those three all trying to out-ham each other.
Oh, no, they were all working together. They really were. They each, the work ethic that I watched, and I learned so much from each of them. They, I think I've told a couple of people here this story because it was just so wonderful to watch each one of them working on different aspects of their character. And now they had all done episodes before, so they had had experience doing it, and they were always helping me, you know, just, you want to run the lines?
Like part of the family.
Yes, always. But I watched them, and Burgess worked. There was he's looking in the periscope, and he has this cigar holder, cigarette holder, and then the cigarette. And so, he would run silent, run deep, like that. He'd work it, and he wanted to get it just timing right, with talking at the same time. Run silent, run deep, stop, rest, put it in his mouth again. Looking in at it, run silent, run deep. He worked it. He worked it.